Hi, Commissioner.
Hi, Commissioner Hamilton.
How are you, Commissioner Hughes?
Well, very good.
Excellent. I was just taking a minute to listen to the governor before getting on this.
Well, Olivia was listening to that as well, and she said it was kind of scary and depressing.
Realistic, but, definitely we're at the breaking point and we really need to take measures. But
Yeah.
it was what I've heard so far. It certainly seems defensible. Excuse me a minute. My battery is low. I'm going to go get my cord.
All right.
Right back. Okay. In business.
Chairman Roy Ball was just finishing up a meeting and said he'd be right with us.
Hey, Commissioner Hanson, how are you?
Good. How are you, Commissioner Hamilton and Commissioner Hughes?
Doing well. I see we all won our races rather handily.
You guys have more people in your districts. We're going to have to do something about that in redistricting.
Do I get to choose which people I give you?
Doesn't work that way.
No, I love all of my constituents, the ones I know anyway.
Me too. I don't think personally that I would lose any, that you would lose any constituents to me or Commissioner Hamilton. I think, I don't know where my where they would come from. They might come from District 1 or District 3. I don't know. But I don't know how many they have either, There might be a reshuffling.
Yeah, right.
So I guess we get to stay home for the next 2 weeks.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, that includes Thanksgiving, huh? Yeah.
That includes Thanksgiving.
At some point, I'm sorry, go ahead, Commissioner.
Oh, I was just going to say, if it gets the rate of infection down, it'll be worth it.
Yeah. At the point that I got up to go to do something, the governor was doing questions and answers, and I thought somebody asked a question about us having a special session, the legislature.
I think she was talking about the legislative session.
the regular session. And I thought they had said special session, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. Just in terms of timing, but it could, if they don't want to wait another 2.5 months, if there are some actions. Anyway, I'm curious about that.
I didn't hear the whole thing. I only heard parts of it, so I did not hear that.
What I heard about the session is they might do a quick budget session at the regular time and then have a special session later in the year for everything else.
As an alternative. Got it. Thank you.
One of the things they're considering.
I knew they were considering various alternatives because of, a 60-day session in the middle of this seems problematic, but on the other hand, business does have to go on, so that's a tough call.
Yeah. Well, if they meet, they're not going to let the public into the Capitol. The legislators may find they enjoy that.
But I think what they were going to do was even move it to the convention center where they had more space.
Right.
But that's their call.
Yeah, it's interesting trying to figure out how we're going to navigate the next few months.
Commissioner Hanson, Chairman Roy Ball just texted and asked if you might be willing to get us started, and he'll be here shortly. You are muted, ma'am.
I need an agenda. Is it on board docs?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me just get that up, okay?
Daniel just shared it on the screen.
Well, that's too small for me to read.
Estrella, would you please send Commissioner Hanson a copy immediately? Thank you.
Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. Could I please have a roll call? And I have the agenda up on my own, so I don't need it on screen. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Chair Hanson.
Present.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia. Tessa Joe, is he online?
He is not. I don't believe he will be present for this meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner Hughes,
Here?
and just for the record, Chair Roy Ball?
He's excused, and he may join us shortly.
Okay, thank you. So there are 3 in attendance and we have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to move to approve the agenda. What's the pleasure of the board?
I move to approve.
Second?
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hanson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia? Commissioner Hughes? Commissioner Hughes? I see he's present, so just wave your hand and, yes, he is present. And for the record again, Chair Roy Ball. Okay, not in attendance yet. Is that correct, Tessa Jo?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Okay, there we go.
We've momentarily lost Commissioner Hanson due to connectivity issues.
I suggest, this is Geraldine Salazar, I suggest we wait a few minutes so that we can have a quorum. Thank you. Chair Hanson, are you online?
I am online, but obviously you can't see me.
No, we can see you now, Commissioner. You just disappeared for a moment.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I was still here the whole time, but I guess I just, so you don't need to share the screen, Daniel, unless you, well, maybe you do for the next item. So thank you. We'll go on to item D, request approval of November 3rd general election report of the canvass pursuant to MNSA 1978, section 1-13-13A, action item. Clerk Salazar and Steve Frescus.
Steve Frescus will present at this moment. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, Steve. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioner Hampton, members of the commission. I'm here today to present the results from the 2020 general election canvass for your review and approval. We had 82,556 Santa Fe County residents came out and voted, compared to 71,925 in 2016. Did you all get the handout that I sent?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So the voter turnout this time was 76.5% compared to 73.12% in the 2016 general election. The biggest change between the 2 elections was the absentee ballot turnout. We processed and approved 39,223 mail-in ballots compared to 4,862 in 2016. So with that, I stand for questions.
I want to first thank Geraldine, Clerk Salazar, and Steve Frescus and your entire staff for running a really smooth election. I personally didn't hear of any issues or complaints or problems. Everything seemed to be running really smoothly, and when people did have an issue, they got taken care of right away. So I want to thank you and your entire staff for the great job that you did.
Thank you, and you're welcome. And I
Thank you
want
very
to
much, Commissioner.
yes, I really want to commend Steve Frescas, Teresa Atencio, and especially Cristina Martinez, who they were finalizing the canvassing of this whole process. And so all the poll workers and the absentee board, all of our temp workers, election workers, it was an incredible feat of what we accomplished. So thank you for the compliments. We appreciate that.
I appreciate all of your staff and all the hard work. So if you want to go on with the report, or are there any other comments or questions from commissioners? Commissioner Hamilton?
Well, I think this is one of my usual questions, Steve or Madam Clerk. Were there any items that appear on these results or in the process of counting? Is there anything that you feel comment on that seemed noteworthy or unusual or presented any problems?
Commissioner, members of the commission, no, we had, there were problems in various stages of this election, minor problems, mainly with the mail and with the timeliness of applications and forms that were getting to the voters. The voters seemed they were extremely emotional this election. And they had a really big sense of urgency. So that ended up giving us maybe 20 or 30,000 phone calls to our office. That was probably the hardest thing to deal with. As far as the tallying of the results or anything that happened during the election, we had a few issues, but they were minor. So basically, it was a pretty smooth election otherwise.
That's basically very good to hear. Did you feel like resolution of especially the bigger problem, which was the first one you mentioned, was to your satisfaction? Or did you feel that there were any substantial problems that remained unresolved or were unresolvable?
Well, there's always a few individual instances. There weren't very many. We try to resolve everyone as we receive them. I mean, they're like I say, the biggest problem was with the mail itself, but there wasn't very many instances of that. There was some households where the husband got the ballot and the wife didn't. So that became kind of contentious the longer that took. But other than that, I feel because of the staff worked so hard here and worked so many hours, it seemed like everybody was at their desk 7 days a week. Because of the hard work of the staff, everything I feel was taken care of satisfactorily.
Yes, Commissioner Hamilton, commissioners, this was a very unusual, unreal election in many ways, but I think that the expertise that exists in this office and people who are involved in this whole process are very committed to elections and the whole process. So we have citizens who stepped up to the plate in spite of everything that has occurred nationally and also with COVID-19. So we have individuals who participated and helped us deliver democracy. Our challenges were the increased amount of absentee ballots, the application process, but we just kept going and doing what we had to do. Steve was all over the place. Teresa, as Steve mentioned, the call volume was incredible. The concerns of voters, the urgency, and there was also paranoia. And I mean, there was so much involved, but I'm very proud of everyone that participated and helped us deliver this election process for the 2020 primary and the general. The other, I'd like to mention that when we managed the Edgewood election, which was a very small election, we were able to see some of the things that we would have concerns later. And then with the primary election, which was more difficult, but yet not as extensive as the general. So I think lessons learned with the Edgewood municipal election and also the primary election. So we were prepared, but you're never fully prepared when you roll out a presidential election such as this. So kudos to Steve and Teresa and all others. Also, to what really helped us tremendously is that one of our election vendors did create a scanning system, which helped us tremendously during the absentee process. We didn't have to go to the court to obtain a court order to extend the process. So I think that new scanning process that the absentee board utilized helped us tremendously. So we were able to finally, we had a lot of calls from the media election night, but we were finally able to, we did have a posting before midnight, but then our second posting, when we finalized everything in the office and everywhere else that we needed to finalize, we were able to post our unofficial results at 12:04 a.m. the next day, which was just hours away, because we were prepared. We were wondering if we were going to have to be in the office till 2 or 4 in the morning. Well, that didn't happen. We were able to complete and load up for election day 12:04 a.m. So it was a tremendous feat. And I want to thank everyone, even the community that came out to vote. And also, I think there are lessons learned here, and we will continue. And I think we are improving. Each time you run an election, you improve. Technology is great, but many times that it does create problems. So we have to be very close and also express concerns that we have with the United States Postal Service, with also our vendors. When we have problems, we have to remedy them, because many times things are just unpredictable. We don't know what's going to hit us, and we have to be prepared no matter what. There's times you can't even think about it. You just have to do it so that we can continue to complete the process of running an election. Oh, election, I'd like to thank Cristina Ortiz, not Cristina Martinez. I guess I have Martinez on my mind. So Cristina Ortiz has been cross-training with Steve and Teresa Atencio, and she's been learning the canvassing process, and she's done an excellent job. So I want to thank Steve and Teresa Atencio for cross-training Cristina Ortiz again regarding the canvassing process, which is a detailed process. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And you're muted, Commissioner Hanson.
Thank you.
Commissioners, there is one item that we did have a little bit of an issue of, is we did have to bring in the absentee board to tally some of the votes from the federal write-in. But other than that, no, that was accomplished, and that is being reported along with the rest of the results on the sheet that you have. I forgot to tell you, that was a small issue that we had.
Okay, thank you. So I have one question on page 3 of 5. It says judicial retention, but it doesn't have any name. Am I missing something?
On 3 of 5?
3 of 5 at the bottom.
Then it might have got cut off. But the first two digits, yeah, I'm sorry, this report didn't name all the retention judges. I didn't realize that when I did it. It was a summary report. These are all the district judges that were up for retention. I can go ahead and I'll have to generate a different report, and I can make sure that I send it to all of you.
Okay, I think that would be important, because I don't think just judicial retention is enough. I think we need the names of the judges that were retained in those positions.
I will generate that for you. Make sure that all of you get a copy of that.
Yeah, I believe.
Well, it seems like we lost Commissioner Hanson for a minute again. While we're, oh, here she comes. Is that? This is a sign that we really need to work on broadband, right?
You're absolutely correct, Commissioner Hughes. This is something that I have dreamed about, especially for elections, for connectivity. So broadband is very important throughout the county, especially the county facilities. They should be hardwired.
Right. I agree with that. But hi, Mr. Schaefer, I see you have your hand up, so I want to make sure that we're not getting off track.
No, I was going to thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners, and I was going to suggest that since the purpose of today's meeting is to actually approve the canvas, perhaps you may want to take a short recess or simply go on mute for a while so that Steve can prepare the report that actually lists the outcome of the various judicial retention questions by judge, so that we can wrap things up today and you can, formally approve the canvas. Because I would agree with you, Madam Chair, and that you need to see those numbers so you know what you're approving. That would be a suggestion so that we can move forward while we're not wasting folks' time waiting for that information to come forward.
Okay.
Steve, how long would
I'm
that
good.
take?
Steve?
Yes.
Steve, can you do that and email it to all of us?
I'm working on that right now, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you so much. And Commissioner Hamilton?
Can we get, thank you, Madam Chair. Can we get an estimate of how much time, just so we don't have to just sit here, we can mute everything and then come back? Is it 5 minutes or 10 minutes or?
I think it would be 10 minutes maximum. I'll just go ahead and revise the report that I have to include the names for each one of the races.
Okay, that sounds good. So I would entertain a motion to go into recess until 2:35.
I so moved.
Second?
Okay, a roll call?
Chair Hansen,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Yes.
Chair Roy Ball,
Excuse.
Commissioner Garcia, both are excused. Thank you.
So we'll see each other in like 10 to 11 minutes. And you can just go on mute.
Tessa or Daniel, are you able to put just a little note that we're recessed till 2:35?
Yeah, I'm getting that ready right now. I'll put that up.
Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you.
Hi, Commissioner Hamilton. I don't.
Hi.
Hi, Daniel. How are we doing? Do you have an idea? Or Tessa Joe?
No, I have not received anything, or I don't think they've returned from the recess.
I haven't either, Commissioner Hanson.
Okay. So 5 more minutes.
Commissioner, this is Julia. Let me go and check. I'll just walk over to Steve's office and see.
Steve is in his office preparing, working on the report. So he will be on as soon as he's done. My apologies.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay. Chair Hansen, Steve Frescus is preparing to send everyone a copy.
Okay.
Okay, and then he'll be on soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
you should be receiving it any second now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, I think you're muted.
I was wondering, are we still waiting?
Yes, we're still waiting for the revised print.
Okay, Chair Roy Ball, this is Joe Salazar. Estrella just sent it to all of us a few seconds ago.
I've received it.
Did she also send it to
Thank you.
Daniel Frescas so that he can or Tessa so they can post it on the screen?
The answer is yes. Estrella confirmed that, yes, to Daniel Frescas.
I have not received it, but once I get it, I can display it unless somebody else wants to display the image.
Uh-oh, excuse me, she sent it to the wrong Daniel. We both have worked in our office, so now she's sending it to the right Daniel. We have two Daniel Frescuses, and both have worked in the clerk's office years past.
Okay, I just received it. I'll start sharing my screen right now. Okay, is somebody going to present on this, or it's just for our review right now?
Chair Roy Ball, this is for your review right now. And then Steve, if you could come back on. And I want to thank also Commissioner Hanson for your eagle eyes. Always good to have other eyes looking at what we produce. And I guess we saved the best for last. A snafu. Sorry.
In order for him to unmute himself via the telephone, he'll have to select *6.
Okay, Steve, did you hear that? *6. Yeah, let Steve know. I will tell you.
Roy Ball, can you hear me?
Great.
Yes, we can.
Good afternoon, Chair Roy Ball. We're continuing on with verification and the review of the 2020 general election canvass results. The names for the retention judges were omitted from this report that we downloaded from the Office of the Secretary of State. We recessed in order for me to place the names for each judge, retention judge on there. So we're on page 3 and 4. We have all the retention judges, the names, and the results of the election result.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do we have any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair?
I just had.
Sorry about that. Just a reminder that we need a motion to return from recess.
Thank you. We appreciate that. So I'll entertain a motion to return from recess.
So moved.
So we have a motion from Commissioner Hughes and a second from Commissioner Hamilton. I'm going to go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hanson? Commissioner Hanson?
She's muted.
Okay, we hear you now.
Yes, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
And a yes from Commissioner Roybal. Is Commissioner Garcia on?
No, he's not.
Okay, so 4 yeses. So this item is we're out of recess. So I'm going to go to Commissioner Hughes. I believe you had a question on relative to the item that we were on.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just had a quick question. I saw that the turnout was better in 2020 than 2016, and I wondered if this was set a record for Santa Fe or if this was particularly good. for Santa Fe County, the 76% turnout?
Yes, this is a significant number. You look at 2020 total voters, 82,556. So I think we broke our record. Would you agree, Steve?
I agree. I've seen very few instances of any counties reaching this high of a turnout in the past in my election experience. And I believe this might be one of the highest, if not the highest, for Santa Fe County.
Thank you. Thank you. And I also just wanted to add my thanks to all the clerk staff for doing such a great job. I didn't hear any problems with the election. I think it went very, very smoothly and under very trying circumstances. That's really great.
Thank you. I think what's also notable is that if you look at absentee out did election day and also early voting, they were almost close with 34,000 plus for early voting and 39 plus for absentee. And election day, less people went out, so that was positive considering COVID-19. But what we wanted to do is, it was difficult for us, but we did go full blown to all 30 voting convenience centers so that people would have, since there was so much stress about the election, we wanted to ensure that there was every which way that a voter could vote in Santa Fe County. And we did push early voting and absentee, and we can see that in the statistics, the numbers. And election day was an option for others who did not participate or could not, but chose to vote on election day. So I think our numbers are very good and telling for the 2020 COVID pandemic experience.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think it's great, and I hope we can keep it up. But that's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for your question and comments. And I just want to also just extend my gratitude to the clerk's office, the Bureau of Election. You guys are awesome. You guys did a great job. And, it's something that, the commissioners and, all of Santa Fe County can be proud of. So thank you for the great job for this election cycle. It was definitely trying, and you guys did an awesome job. So thank you. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, with that, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Hamilton?
I move to approve the canvas results as presented in this revised document.
I second it.
So we have a motion from Commissioner Hamilton and a second from Commissioner Hansen. I'm going to go to a roll call vote. Or anything else under discussion before we move on to the vote? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hughes?
Yes?
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hansen?
Yes.
And a yes from Commissioner Roybal. So this item passes unanimously with the commissioners that are present. Thank you. Okay, and I didn't print out my agenda, and I don't remember what the what the next item is. Is it just is there anything else, or is it just okay? Daniel's bringing it up. Great.
Your adjournment will be next, Chair Roybal.
Okay, and that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So, with that being said, I want to thank all the commissioners for being here, and we are having a lot of issues with COVID right now, and the numbers are increasing. And just a reminder to everybody to please rethink everything that we're doing and make sure that we're following all the guidelines and keeping ourselves and our families safe. So thank you all for being here. And with that, if there's not any other comments, or Commissioner Hansen, go ahead. I saw your hand up. Commissioner Hansen, I think you're muted.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. No, I just wanted to thank everybody. And once again, Geraldine, I know this is your last election for the Santa Fe County. And I just want to say thank you for your service to the county. And we will miss you. So I just wanted to put it on the record.
You're welcome, Commissioner Hanson. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of work, but I'm not one to shy away from challenges. And I want to thank the board for your support and gathering today so that we could have our results entered, our unofficial results submitted to the Secretary of State's office today. We will need your signatures, so Estrella is working with your constituent services liaison so that we could get the signatures and submit to the Secretary of State. The next step after this is the state will conduct their own canvass, and then we may have an audit from the auditor. I don't know. And also, too, then finally will be finalized. But this has been an incredible election. As some of my family members said, well, you will be going out with a bang on this one. And it's been an incredible experience, and it's been a pleasure working for Santa Fe County voters, all the constituents, and I think we did a very good job. And I want to thank Steve for his leadership in the Bureau of Elections, and he's been working tirelessly. I'd say for the last 2 years, we've been preparing for this election. So it's been nonstop, but it was well worth it. And as I mentioned before, it takes a unique breed of a public service individual to do this type of work. So thank you to Steve, and you are much appreciated, and all of you are appreciated also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and thank you for recognizing that, Commissioner Hanson. It has been a pleasure to work with you all these years. I think for the last 6 years, you've always been very professional and just done a great job. You definitely will be, your leadership will be missed in this position. So, but thank you for all your hard work. Other commissioners, any comments?
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, okay, everybody. We'll see you. Have a good evening. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
So we have a motion and a second from Commissioner Hanson. Is that correct? And Commissioner Hughes? Commissioner Hanson? Was it no comment? No? Okay, so I'll go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hanson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
And a yes from Commissioner Roybal. So we are adjourned. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.